Hey, hey, hey. Now that the election fever is over, I hope I can get your attention. So let's get back to business. From the 1st to the 7th of August this month, we were commemorating World Breastfeeding Week under the theme Breastfeeding for a Sustainable Start to Life, Strengthening What Works, right? So I thought to myself, how do I interpret this theme for this platform? And I thought I could share my journey because I'm currently a breastfeeding mom. And I've done that exclusively for 6 consecutive months. I have given my infant nothing else but breast milk. And now that the child is past 6 months, going to the 7th month, I am still breastfeeding. So talking about how to make breastfeeding sustainable and also strengthening what works, I thought I could share 10 points that really you can take away from my experience and also my expertise as a nutritionist. We all know why breastfeeding is important. It's the best start to life in that it has everything that the baby needs. It's the first complete food. Apart from breast milk, there is no other one single food that can give you everything. But this milk or this food for infants 0 to 6 months is everything. It is water, nutrients, it has protein, carbohydrates, minerals, name it, sufficient for the baby's development for the first 6 months to life. And it continues to be that even after the age of 6 months. Of course, it has to be complemented with other foods. With that said, I must hasten to tell you that breastfeeding is not easy. I don't think we say that enough. Some mothers have told me milk is just not coming out, or the baby is not attaching to the breast, or I'm about to get back to work. The baby is not accepting the bottle. What do I do? Or the baby is accepting the bottle, but not the breast. There's been so many challenges out there. Others even, I think there was a man who said he had triplets and he was wondering how breastfeeding would work even for triplets. Like, how does the mother manage? I may not answer all the questions, and I would like to also hasten to say that this is not to shame mothers who have chosen formula feeding for whatever reasons best known to you. But the purpose of doing this video is really to emphasize that whatever choice you make to feed your baby, it should be informed. In any case, you still have to do it correctly. But I must emphasize that breast is always best. So I just wanted to share 10 tips that can help a working mother out there to exclusively breastfeed. Let's make it practical. Yeah. And I've chosen a working mother. It doesn't have to be in the formal sector, whether formal or informal, working mother. As long as you have to leave the door of your house to go somewhere for hours and then come back to your baby, yeah, you are a working mother. So tip number 1, when your baby is born, start by or make sure you establish breastfeeding. What do I mean by establish breastfeeding? Make sure you attach the baby to the breast. We often advise, even healthcare staff, that it should be done within the first hour. But unfortunately, even myself, it wasn't done within the first hour. There's usually separation of mother and baby for hours. Mother is left to recover. But anyway, in any case, whether it's done within the first hour as advised, as recommended, or done several hours after, you still can establish breastfeeding, meaning attach that baby to the breast. And I would say no bottle, even if you're going to express breast milk, which we'll get to, but no bottle, no water, no nothing. Just the baby on the breast. Mind you, they are born with a sucking reflex. They have that. You don't need to teach a baby that, oh, this is how you suck, but you need to help them exercise their jaw muscles. So they have that sucking reflex, but it has to be exercised. I know they say it takes about 3 weeks to establish breastfeeding, but I would go on to 2 months. I'll explain why. So have the baby to the breast for at least 2 months. It is not easy, I know, but be consistent. Day in, day out, day in, day out. Mind you, at this time you are at home, resting, recovering, whether it was a C-section or normal delivery, you have help around, I'm guessing. So breastfeed, breastfeed, breastfeed on the breast. So what that does is it exercises the baby's muscles, around the jaw area. It helps you and baby to bond. The baby feels safe. Because mind you, this child has been growing in you for 9 months. It doesn't know anyone else, anything else but you as mom. So you have to gradually start introducing this baby to the world. You shouldn't just deliver and all of a sudden the baby is being taken care of by people the child does not know, does not connect with. So there are little like tuma pimples on the breast that the baby that emit a certain smell that only the baby can pick. And they know that this is mommy. And the baby feels comfortable, relaxed. So you do not want to rush the process of giving the baby to other people. And that's why they say, even the rest of us who like to visit moms who've just delivered, it's not a good idea. It's not a time for visitation. The first 2-3 months is not a time for visitation. Give mother and baby their time to bond and establish that contact. So getting back to breastfeeding, it ensures that when you prepare to now get back to work, the baby's jaws will have been so well developed that they can feed on the bottle, because the bottle is much easier. There is not much work you do on the bottle. The milk is just literally pouring into the baby's mouth without much effort. But on the breast, the baby has to literally yank or pull that milk out of the breast. So it takes a lot more effort and a lot more exercise. When you do it for 2 months, I say 2 months because maternity leave in Zambia is for a minimum of 3 months, right? At least 3 months, especially if you're in the formal sector. We are still pushing for our colleagues in the informal sector to also have it. So the first 2 months, you are establishing breastfeeding, meaning the baby is just on the breast, nothing else. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, mummies, remember to switch your breasts. I know we all have a favorite breast. Like myself, I'm left-handed. And so when I'm feeding, I'm more comfortable having the baby on the right boob because I have control of my left hand. But it's always important to switch, balance up. All right. You want to ensure that breast milk is coming out on both sides of the breast. If you have your baby on one side, you find that even the boob on that one side will be much bigger than the other side, or will droop more than the other side, simply because it is overworked compared to the other. So you want to ensure that when you feed the baby on one boob, you empty the breast completely. Remember I did that video where I was showing you that it has to take about 20 minutes on average to empty the breast. So you have the baby on one breast, the baby may even fall asleep. I've seen others actually have a little pin that they put to say, okay, on the next time the baby feeds, it will be on the left or on the right, up to you. So when you feed your baby on one side, the baby falls asleep, you put the baby away, you quickly put a mark on your other side so that it reminds you, if you're forgetful, it reminds you that when the baby wakes up to feed again, I'll have to start from the other side. That way you ensure that breast milk is being produced on both sides of the breast, so that you will not have a thing of, no, I don't have sufficient milk. No, balance up, right? So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3, Vaseline, Vaseline, Vaseline. So if you're a new mom out there, you know for sure that those nipples are on fire the first few weeks of your baby's life. I had bleeding nipples where the baby cries and you're like, oh my God. So another pain session is about to happen. But trust me, it goes away. Okay? Brave through those few days. It's just going to take about, a month? Just brave through those days. You can do this. Your nipples will bleed, your nipples will hurt, but Vaseline them. I'm not here to promote the brand, but it has helped me a lot. Vaseline, not any other. I know in Zambia when we say Vaseline, we really mean anything petroleum based. No. Vaseline, idia in a brand, idia Vaseline. So take some Vaseline, buy a big container if you can, because you'll be needing a lot of them. Have t-shirts that you can toss away after, because mind you, you are home most of the time, so you do not want to ruin most of your clothes. So I had t-shirts that had so much Vaseline on them, you have no idea. Every after feed, put some Vaseline on them, and before you tuck them back in the bra, or even if you don't have a bra, it's fine, but just smear some Vaseline, massage with some Vaseline. It helps a lot. to heal the nipples. I do not know about these nipple creams and whatnot. If it works for you, drop them in the comments, share some brands that mothers out there can use. But personally, I feel it's not necessary. I think Vaseline works just as good. Tip number 4, mothers, do not worry about how your breast milk looks compared to cow's milk. I know many of us look at formula or cow's milk and say, how come mine looks so watery? It looks like it has no nutrients in it. But compared to this cow's milk, which is very white in color, when you shake the bottle, it even coats the sides of the bottle. It has this rich kind of look. Okay, look, your breasts, God is so amazing. He's designed the process of breastfeeding so meticulously. It just amazes me. It goes with age. And who determines the kind of breast milk that comes out is the child, the baby, as the baby is sucking. So the baby communicates with your body. Like, okay, apa nomba, therefore ya watery, pantu ine mala, sana. And that's how come you have some babies who can go, actually all babies in the first 6 weeks at least, would go for days without pooping. Some people have commented in my inbox and said, oh, but my child has gone for 7 days now and there's no poop. That's because there's nothing to poop. The baby needs everything. The baby is getting all that the baby needs. The reason why formula babies poop so much is because they're excreting stuff that they don't need. So you went to buy formula, yet you could breastfeed, fine, but then the baby is excreting everything that you went to buy. How much is formula? But a breastfed baby takes up everything that it gets and just poops very little. And if you know the poop of a newborn baby who is breastfed, it's just my little stringy, yellowish looking things. Nothing much. So do not worry about what the breast milk looks like. It will start maturing. Firstly, it is very watery in nature because your baby's tummy is not ready for that. And they need very little. They're not moving much. But as the baby grows, let me say when the baby reaches about 3 months, you will now start seeing that rich texture. In fact, when you leave the breast milk to sit after you express, you see that it has even a fatty layer that sits at the top because the baby now is growing and needs a lot more of that energy and those nutrients to grow well. Tip number 5, let's assume it is 2 months later. You've established breastfeeding very well. You've been vaselining your nipples very well. You've done everything that you need to do. And now it's like a month before you return to work. Now, this is where things begin to get difficult for the working mother. You have to start expressing, what we call expressing the milk, meaning removing kama milk, either by hand, but now life has been made easier. There are breast pumps. So invest in a little breast pump, whether hand or the electric breast pump. It's up to you and it's up to your pocket. But invest in a breast pump, very important. So that happens in the 3rd month. So the baby is 2 months, well established on the breast, and now you can now start introducing the bottle. Because what you need to be doing now is mwasho omwana alimbi na badadi bakwe or mwashana bamami benu or the house help mwabashira omwana, and you go out to maybe just go for a walk. Start with that. Go for a walk, leave them with the bottle. The baby now starts to also know that, oh, apart from the breast, there's this thing called the bottle. And it's easier, actually. The milk just do, right? But after your walk, you come back and you put the baby on the breast. And the baby will be like, oh, okay, the breast is a little harder, but I'm used to it. I mean, I've been at it for 2 months. That's the trick. But those who introduce the bottle too quickly, like Rimbi Umwana na 1 month, so you haven't established breastfeeding well, their muscles are not well trained to suck that breast milk out of their boob, of the breasts, and you now start giving the bottle, which is so much easier. Depending on the brand of bottle you give, some, the baby just has to press a little bit. And then now you put the baby to the breast for them to now. They'll be like, hell no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to, I've been having it the easy way for 3 months and now you want to introduce me to this. Oh, hell no. You see? And that's where now you say, no, my baby is not attaching to the breast. Botolo, shan yoko. I have cancelled several mothers who I've noted that this was a big mistake they made, introducing the bottle too quickly. And also not introducing the bottle while they were still on maternity leave. So in my case, what happened was when I first gave the baby the bottle, like you put the bottle in the mouth, he would even make a face, like he even starts to chew it like he's chewing bubblegum. As though saying, no, this is child's play. What is this? Right? But with time, especially and also, mind you, the child has built good rapport with you and with the family around. And so when hungry, the child begins to trust that, okay, this is not a boob, but I trust this person. Let me try. And the baby tries it. Maybe a struggle the first day, second day, third day, you see the baby sucking. But in that third month, you switch. Bottle, breast, bottle, breast, bottle, breast. It has to be like that. So you go for a walk, give the bottle. You come back home, the next feed on the breast. Just like that, just like that. And then by the time you're getting ready to go back to work, the child can suck on both. Like in my case, I come back home, put the baby to the breast, he accepts. When I'm not home, he's given the bottle, he still accepts. And then number 6 is as the baby is growing, even from birth, allow the baby to suck on the breast for at least 20 minutes. I said it earlier and some mothers were like, 20 minutes, you don't say, oh. 20 minutes. The reason for that is the first milk that comes out is very watery. It's like it's to just quench the child's thirst. The same way we say 30 minutes before your meal, if you are thirsty, drink water and then have your meal, or have your meal and then drink water. So it's basically to quench the thirst, and then now that fat-rich food starts to come later. Most mothers who say, breast milk, I suspect it's because you detach the baby too quickly. So 5 minutes into breastfeeding, because the baby has let go of the boob, umwana tadeikuta, shani mpeni formula, mpeni ubwali, shani tadeikuta. Tadeikuta but ngamwaya kuscale, kwanda 5, the weight is going up. That's a good indication as to whether the child is full or not. Because I've exclusively breastfed my baby, like I've said, and each time I go for under 5, the growth is there. So how is it that my baby, but yours is not? So something is not right there. So either you are detaching the baby too quickly when they're just getting that watery milk in the first 10 minutes of breastfeeding. And after the 10 minutes, that's when the rich milk comes in. So those who admire the way formula looks, breast milk does look like that as well. But after 10 minutes of breastfeeding, then that comes in. So 20 to 30 minutes on the breast is advisable. You put it back again. You'll be feeding and then something happens. He wants to turn to look at what is happening. That does not mean he's full. He's just curious. Allow that to happen. Time yourself at least 20 minutes to have him or her on the breast. So number 7, I want to talk about you now. You mommy, you who's watching. It's important that you take in enough water and have a healthy diet, because breast milk just doesn't happen. Your body will not prioritize breastfeeding over keeping you alive. So those who get into these slimming diets in the name of, no, I want to get back to my pre-pregnancy weight, especially for the first 6 months, your beauty is not important. If you see my videos that I've done recently, after delivering, no, they are not cute compared to the ones I did in, let's say, 2024. That's because I'm tired all the time, guys. My hair is a mess. It takes a lot of effort to even do this video. So forget about you, forget about your needs right now. One thing I can tell you is breastfeeding will help you lose weight, especially if you're not on contraception. The story for another day, and probably not with me, with your health care worker. But if you are exclusively breastfeeding, you are going to lose weight. I've seen it for myself. I have lost significant amount of weight compared to where I started. I am still on that journey. I do not want to rush it. I'm in no rush. For who? For what? I'm still a bit chubby compared to what I was 2 years ago. But breastfeeding, or rather pregnancy, changes your body a lot. To say that you are going to go back to how you were is a lie. The body does change. I've had friends who are very skinny. They still remain slender, but you can see that kabodi nakachinjako, ka alignment takadi sana. But it's all normal. The key is to get back to a healthy weight gradually. But you do not achieve that by dieting. Otherwise, you're going to mess up breastfeeding. And this is really in response to one of you who asked, you need to do a video where you're showing us what you are eating so that we know what to eat, so that we also lose weight. Trust me, I have been on no diet, no weight loss diets to be specific. All I've focused on is a lot of water as well as eating healthy. So I eat actually a lot more than I would if I wasn't breastfeeding. By that I mean I get hungry all the time because I'm breastfeeding even in the night. I do not mind having a meal even, let's say, at 20, 21 hours. Under normal circumstances, by 18 hours my mouth is shut. Brushed teeth, done. In this case, I find myself eating even at 21 hours. And it's okay because I know 01, I'll be breastfeeding. 03, I'll be breastfeeding. 05, I'll be breastfeeding. And this boy can feed. And so that excess energy is actually going towards producing breast milk. Now imagine if I'm also dieting or doing a weight loss, whatever, where I'm trying to restrict myself from certain foods, the body will protect me first, not the baby. The body will say, look, we are not going to produce breast milk. We are not going to have your bones leak calcium at the speed of light and have your skeleton looking frail. So we are not going to do that. We are going to preserve your bones because, mind you, the calcium in the milk comes from our bones. So you do not want a situation where excess calcium is leaking out and the body is not being replenished of the calcium and other nutrients that it's losing. So eat healthy, drink a lot of water. Just a nutshell of what I would call eating healthy is having proper meals. By proper meal, I mean akabwadi, ngamuladi obwadi, with lots of vegetables and whatever choice of protein you have, whether it's pulse like beans or ngani have that. What I do not want you to do is snack on crisps, crackers, corn puffs, these toy foods. The reason is you overeat. That's number one. Because you know that a pack of crisps can be equivalent to even 2 lumps of nshima. Now you tell me, you eat 2 lumps of nshima, you feel really full for a long time, probably even the whole day. And then you have crisps right now, and 1 hour later, you still want more food. So that is why I call these foods toy foods. And I wouldn't even want to categorize them as foods. Let's just say ultra-processed stuff. Get those out of your diet. So keep it clean, keep it natural, preferably keep it organic. Less of these noises in the food, preservatives, sugar, colorants. No. I've seen mothers sucking on lollipops, and that could also be because you're not taking in enough water, because your body confuses the signal for thirst and the signal for hunger. So the body could be telling you you are thirsty, but you take it as I need food, right? Because all the body wants is fluid, whether it's coming from a watermelon, whether it's coming from soup ya mbuzi, whether it doesn't matter. All it wants is fluid, right? But then that you're taking in way too much. That is excess. So water, 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 and healthy, clean eating. So number 9, let's take it. You have started work today and baby has to be left with a caregiver, and you now need to leave instructions on how to give the baby milk. Firstly, I recommend, like I said, a breast pump like this one. It's a simple pump, nothing special. I use a hand pump. Maybe it's because I want to also exercise my hand. I'm kidding. It's cheaper. This goes or ranges from about 100 to 300 kwacha, depending on where you're buying it. But I've seen shops that have sold this at 100, 150. And all you need is also these Tuma packs. There is no particular brand that I recommend. Just go with your pocket, what is advisable, but it must say breast milk storage bags, because these are specifically designed for breast milk storage. They can be put in the freezer and they can be also, warmed. So breast milk storage bags like this. And then also an ice pack. I got this at 50 kwacha, Mogem. I have 2 of these. So you can have this kind of ice pack that you use. So when I'm at work, I pump using the breast pump during my break. By the way, by law, as breastfeeding moms of infants under the age of 6 months, you have 1 hour breastfeeding break. Now that is besides your lunch, by the way. I use it to pump. So I pump during that hour and I pump at lunch as well during my lunch break. So I pump using this. So these little packs I got come with a little connector like this. And I feel the beauty of this is that I do not need to pump in a bottle like this and then transfer the milk. Because sometimes filetika, kondo. So to avoid all this, you have a connector like this. You connect this, and then beauty is it goes direct into this. I firstly started with ordinary breast milk storage bags, and then I found these and I was like, wow, hooray. So you connect like that, attach it to the breast and pump away. Take your time, pump. And for me, I fill at least 2 of these bags. So one breast fills this completely and the other breast fills another bag. So this is about 200 mils. I make about 400 mils. But it wasn't always like that. I must note this. I must say this. It wasn't always like that. When I started expressing while I was still on maternity leave, I would only do like 30 mils, 60 mils. And I'm like, eto akubika muna nikane storage bag. And I bought my storage bags at like 250, the first ones before these. And I'm like, I'm supposed to just put 30 mils in this and freeze. Like, it feels like a waste, but take it easy. Mind you, you are producing milk based on the age of the child. If I'm doing 200 mils now, like I say, this boy is above 6 months. So I'm able to do 1 liter in a day because that's what he has set for himself. That is what he needs in a day. Because when I'm putting him on the breast the whole day, that's probably what he gets. So let's go with that. Take it easy. If you're producing 30 mils, it's fine. Pump away, store it. You're producing 60, it's fine. Just like that. It will start to increase. The more comfortable you are with the pump on your breast, and also the more relaxed you are, the better you eat, the more water you drink, you find that it will start to increase. So I would pump like this in here, and once this is full, of course, Nishapo, you've washed your hands or you've sanitized your hands. Don't just touch these things with dirty hands. So I'll then disconnect like that, right? Keep this in a safe place, not touching any weird dirty surface, and you close, right? So there is breast milk in here. I then store it in this bag. Now you can get any cooler bag of your choice. I decided to recycle. This is from my first child, okay? So I said I'm not going to be buying these cooler things all the time. So I thought, okay, we'll use the same one we used 7 years ago. So this bag, it has a nice plastic coating to it to keep the breast milk cool. So what I do, I then add this ice brick, frozen from home. and you put it in there, and then you take your breast milk and there. And this is now the last thing that I'm going to say, the importance of support. Exclusive breastfeeding has dropped by 9 percentage points. In the 2018 Zambia Demographic and Health Survey, it was reported that exclusive breastfeeding was at 73%. I'm like, that was good. That's like a merit, right? If that was school, it's like a merit. And then all of a sudden, we are now down to 64%. And the nutrition fraternity freaked out, including myself. I'm like, it's like we haven't been working. What is going on? Are we not promoting this enough at health facilities and in communities? So if you are going to increase the rates of breastfeeding, it's important that we ensure that mothers have sufficient electricity to freeze these things and ensure that milk is available for their infants. It takes a community, which brings me to the last tip. It takes a community to ensure exclusive breastfeeding. We cannot do this alone. I'm speaking here on my own, but there's a whole team of people behind me that ensure that, firstly, that I can do these videos, and also that ensure that my infant is taken care of while I'm talking to you. And not only when I'm talking to you, when I'm out there also contributing to the growth of this country in my own little way, that they are taken care of. So if you have a spouse, I encourage all the fathers out there to take breastfeeding seriously. This is also your child, and it shouldn't just be your child when they've now graduated and they are now doctors and whoever. It should be your child from day one, in fact, from pregnancy. The minute madam tells you, hey, Washtata, we are expecting, play a big role, be supportive. Postpartum depression is real. We go through mood swings. I was down when I delivered, down in the sense that, I felt I'm a nutritionist, but I feel like I cannot continue breastfeeding. But I had a partner who understands the importance of breastfeeding and was there to encourage me. I do not know the number of times I told him in the middle of the night, 0102, na mwishwa, my romkashite formula, because I don't think I can do this. I'm tired. I don't sleep. If you saw my videos earlier, I probably have bags under my eyes right now. My skin darkened, bags under the eyes. It's like you're just not functioning. You do not feel you are you. So support, please. Spouses, if it's boyfriend, if it's whoever, be understanding, be patient. Even when they ask for formula, probably all they need is a little support. Once the baby has sucked on the breast, take that baby, allow them to sleep. That's what my husband would do. He would allow me to sleep for a while, or he would say, okay, since the baby has sucked, you sleep, I'll try to rock him to sleep. Like, papa, walk around for a while. Next thing you know, for some reason, they sleep better with their dads than with mom. When you do that, you are ensuring that you have support for yourself as well as for your bundles of joy. So I hope that could help. So those are my 10 tips on how to ensure successful breastfeeding as we commemorate World Breastfeeding Week, which happened from the 1st to the 7th of August 2026, under the theme, Breastfeeding for a Sustainable Start to Life, Strengthening What Works. So here the key things are sustainable and strengthening what works. So to make it sustainable, really, it requires a village. One other important supporter of breastfeeding that I haven't mentioned is the employer. Guys, I went to WFP, World Food Program, for a meeting, and I told my colleagues who work there that, look, I'm breastfeeding and I need to express milk. And guess what? They do have a designated room for breastfeeding mothers. The country rep for WFP, kudos to you for creating that room. I was amazed. So really, again, to emphasize that for it to be sustainable, for us to strengthen that what works, it takes all of us to get involved. So with that said, I really hope you learned a thing or two. Until next time, it's bye-bye.